The Coast Guard cutter cuts through Mediterranean waves at dawn. Officer Martinez's radio crackles with coordinates. What he finds on Deck 12 of the luxury liner Celestial Dream will haunt him forever. I've seen drownings, accidents, but this? Martinez's voice drops to a whisper. Someone butchered her, like she wasn't even human. The body lies in a pristine bathtub, towels arranged with surgical precision, and inside her, emptiness, where vital organs once lived. But here's what keeps me up at night. She posted to Instagram just 18 hours earlier. Champagne, sunset. That caption, living my best life. So what happened in those 18 hours? Who was she with? And why would someone with everything to live for end up like this? If you love true crime stories like this, hit subscribe, because this story goes places you won't believe. Her name was Sarah Mitchell, 28 years old. Interior designer from Brooklyn with a studio apartment she could barely afford and dreams bigger than her bank account. Sarah's best friend, Jenna Torres, still keeps their last text thread on her phone. She wasn't the type to trust easily, Jenna tells me, tears threatening. Her dad left when she was 6. She had walls up, always. But 3 months before that cruise, those walls came down. Sarah spent her Saturdays at estate sales, hunting vintage furniture for her clients. Thrift stores, flea markets, living on coffee and ambition. Her Instagram showed the reality, not the filtered version. IKEA shelves, student loan reminders, the occasional splurge on Thai takeout. She was us, ordinary, hustling, hoping. Then came the Metropolitan Children's Hospital Charity Gala. Sarah wasn't attending, she was working, hired to style the silent auction tables for $300 she desperately needed. That's where she met him. Marcus Blackwell, 45, self-made tech mogul worth $400 million, penthouse overlooking Central Park, Face Sun magazine covers, the kind of man who made waiters nervous and women's hearts race. Security footage shows the moment. Sarah arranging orchids, Marcus watching from across the ballroom. He approaches, says something. She laughs, surprised, flattered, disbelieving. She FaceTimed me from the bathroom, Jenna remembers. She was shaking, like actually trembling. She said, "Jenna, Marcus Blackwell just asked for my number. The Marcus Blackwell." The courtship moved fast. Flowers delivered to her studio. Dinner at restaurants Sarah only read about. A weekend in the Hamptons. He listened when she talked about her design dreams. Remembered she took her coffee black. Sent her articles about architecture he thought she'd love. 6 weeks in, the invitation arrived. 7 days, Mediterranean cruise, private balcony suite. Sarah's mom, Patricia Mitchell, still has the voicemail. "Mom, I think this could be real. I think he might actually care about me." Her last Instagram post before boarding. That cruise ship, that smile, that caption. What Sarah didn't know? She wasn't the first woman Marcus Blackwell had invited on a luxury vacation. She was the 7th. And she'd be the only one whose body was ever found. Day 1. The Celestial Dream leaves Barcelona harbor and Sarah's Instagram comes alive. Marble bathrooms, Egyptian cotton sheets, a balcony overlooking endless blue. Marcus beside her, face always strategically cropped out. "He's private," she texted Jenna. "Doesn't like social media attention." At the time, that seemed romantic, mysterious. Now, red flag number 1. Passenger Helen Kowalski sat 2 tables over at dinner that first night. "They looked perfect together," she tells investigators. "He pulled out her chair, poured her wine. The way he looked at her." Helen pauses. "Like she was the only person in the room." Sarah ordered sea bass. Marcus insisted she try the lobster, his treat, obviously. She laughed, protested, finally agreed. A small thing. A nothing thing. Red flag number 2. He decided what she ate. Day 2, Santorini. Marcus arranged a private helicopter tour, $5,000 for 90 minutes. Sarah's hands shook filming the caldera below. "I can't believe this is my life right now," she whispered to her phone camera. The crew member operating the helicopter remembers something else. She wanted to sit up front, see the controls. Mr. Blackwell said no, too dangerous, made her sit in back. She looked disappointed,
but she didn't push it. Ask yourself this: when does protection become control? Day 4. The seas got rough, and so did they. Waiter Miguel Santos was delivering room service when he heard raised voices through the suite door. I couldn't make out words, but her tone. She sounded scared, not angry, scared. He knocked. Silence. Then Marcus answered. Smile perfect, tip generous. My apologies. Debate about dinner plans. You know how it is. Behind him, Sarah sat on the bed, phone clutched in both hands, mascara slightly smudged. Miguel didn't report it. Why would he? Rich couples argue. That afternoon, Sarah used the ship's satellite phone, $75 for 5 minutes. The call log shows she dialed Jenna's number at 3:47 p.m. She said something felt off, Jenna tells me, voice breaking, that Marcus was different when other people weren't around, colder. She said he went through her phone while she showered. When she confronted him, he said he was just curious about her life. I asked Jenna the question that haunts everyone. Why didn't Sarah leave? The ship would dock in Rome the next day. She could have gotten off. She said she felt stupid, ungrateful. Here's this amazing man showing her this incredible life, and she's complaining? Her exact words, maybe I'm self-sabotaging again. Day 5, 10:47 p.m. Security footage shows Sarah and Marcus entering Suite 1208. She's wearing the white sundress from dinner. He's carrying 2 champagne flutes. His hand rests on the small of her back, possessive, guiding. The door closes. Sarah Mitchell will never walk through another door again. 6:30 a.m., Day 6. The Do Not Disturb sign still hangs on the handle. Housekeeping supervisor notes this. Unusual for early risers like Mr. Blackwell, who always requested coffee by 7. 2 p.m. Hotel manager Carlo Benedetti performs a wellness check. He opens the door. The suite is immaculate. Bed made with hospital corners. Not a glass out of place. That antiseptic smell, like someone scrubbed every surface with bleach. Then he sees the bathroom. Mother of God, he whispers. The towels. The bathtub. What used to be Sarah Mitchell. But here's the thing that makes Detective Jennifer Santos's blood run cold when she arrives 6 hours later. Marcus Blackwell isn't on the ship. Security reviews the footage. There, 8 p.m. the previous night, Day 5. Marcus disembarking during the Athens port stop, alone. Carry-on bag. Sunglasses despite the evening hour. He told the crew he was meeting business associates. He'd rejoin the ship in Rome. He never came back. And by the time authorities start looking, Marcus Blackwell's private jet has already landed in Zurich. What did he do in those 2 hours between leaving the ship and Sarah's death? The answer is more calculated than anyone imagined. Detective Jennifer Santos has worked homicide for 12 years. Gang violence, domestic murders, bar fights gone wrong. But this is different. The precision, she tells me, reviewing the coroner's report. Whoever removed these organs knew exactly what they were doing. Clean incisions, minimal collateral damage. This wasn't rage. This was surgical. The timeline doesn't make sense. Marcus left the ship at 8 p.m. Sarah was seen alive on security footage entering their suite at 10:47 p.m., 2 hours and 47 minutes later. So who killed her? Santos pulls Athens Port Authority records. Private jet registration N7743B departed Athens International at 11:30 p.m. Destination, Geneva. Passenger manifest, one name, Marcus Blackwell. Flight time, 2 hours 15 minutes. He landed in Switzerland at 1:45 a.m. He couldn't have been on that ship. Santos's partner argues. The math doesn't work. But Detective Santos knows something about wealthy men. They don't do their own dirty work. International warrant issued. Interpol notified. Swiss authorities raid his Geneva penthouse. Empty. Bank accounts frozen. $400 million in assets locked down. Marcus Blackwell has vanished like smoke. Financial forensic analyst David Chen starts pulling threads. Marcus's wealth is real. Tech patents, venture capital, pharmaceutical investments. But the origins, murky. Shell companies within shell companies. Money moving through Cayman Islands, Luxembourg, Singapore. Legal, but deliberate, like he's hiding the source.
Then, Santos finds it. A name change. 12 years ago, Marcus Brennan became Marcus Blackwell. Legal. Filed in New York. Reason stated, personal rebranding for business purposes. People change names for two reasons. Fresh starts or running from something. Santos digs into Marcus Brennan's history. Graduated Yale Medical School, top of his class, surgical resident at Mount Sinai, until he wasn't. Medical board records show a complaint filed in 2011. Patient died during routine surgery. Investigation launched. Marcus resigned before findings concluded. Case closed. No formal charges. He was a surgeon, Santos breathes. That's how he knew. But it gets worse. Marcus owned a research foundation, the Brennan Institute for Medical Advancement. Tax filings show millions in annual revenue. Mission statement, advancing transplant technology. Location, Geneva. Santos calls Swiss authorities. We need inside that foundation, now. The anonymous email arrives at 2:47 a.m. Subject line, he's done this before. No signature, burner email account. But attached, 6 missing persons reports spanning 15 years. Santos spreads them across her desk. 6 women, 6 cities, 6 timelines that align perfectly with Marcus's relocations. 2009, Boston, Alicia Rodriguez, 27, paralegal. Last seen boarding a yacht with wealthy entrepreneur. Never found. 2011, Chicago, Maya Patterson, 29, teacher. Disappeared during weekend trip to boyfriend's lake house. Never found. 2013, Seattle, Christina Vale, 26, photographer. Banished after accepting invitation to private island resort. Never found. 2015, Miami, Rachel Kim, 31, nurse. Missing after cruise to Bahamas with new boyfriend. Never found. 2017, San Francisco, Sophie Duchamps, 28, artist. Last contact mentioned romantic getaway to Napa. Never found. 2019, Denver, Keisha Williams, 30, social worker. Disappeared during luxury ski weekend. Never found. All similar ages, similar backgrounds, working class, ambitious, single. All met wealthy older men. All vanished during expensive vacations. No bodies, no evidence, no investigations that went anywhere. Santos pulls Marcus's addresses for those years. Boston, 2009. Chicago, 2011. Seattle, 2013. Perfect matches. Sarah wasn't his first victim, Santos tells her captain. She was his 7th. And she's the only one he left behind. Why? Why leave evidence this time? FBI analyst Rebecca Torres has a theory. He got comfortable. Arrogant. 15 years, 6 murders, 0 consequences. He thought he was untouchable. But there's one more piece. Santos finds Jennifer Torres, different Torres, who dated Marcus 3 years ago. She survived because she got suspicious and left. He talked about control constantly, Jennifer says, hands shaking. Said powerful men throughout history understood that people were resources, renewable resources. I thought he meant employees. She pauses, tears streaming. When I broke up with him, he smiled, said, women who leave me tend to disappear. I filed a police report. The detective laughed it off, called it breakup drama. That detective's name is in the file. He retired last year.
moved to Florida, living comfortably. How many women could have been saved if someone had just listened? Santos stares at the 7 faces on her board. 7 women who trusted the wrong man. Not anymore, she whispers. No more. The hunt for Marcus Blackwell goes global. And what they discover next reveals a network more disturbing than anyone imagined.
Interpol agent Klaus Reinhardt has tracked organ trafficking rings for 17 years. When Detective Santos sends him Marcus's financial records, his response comes in minutes. Mein Gott, we have been chasing this ghost for a decade. The numbers tell a story. Marcus's research foundation received wire transfers. $340,000 from a Dubai account, $520,000 from Hong Kong, $780,000 from Moscow, all within weeks of the women's disappearances. High-quality organs from healthy young donors, Reinhardt explains, voice tight. A heart can sell for $500,000, liver $400,000, kidneys $200,000 each. From one victim, Marcus could gross over $1 million. Do the math. 7 women. Conservative estimate, $7 million in profit. But here's what makes my skin crawl. These weren't desperate buyers in back alleys. These were billionaires. CEOs dying of liver failure. Oligarchs needing hearts. People with money who couldn't wait on transplant lists. Marcus provided a service. Exclusive, discreet, untraceable. The cruise ship was genius. International waters. No clear jurisdiction. Medical facilities on board. Built-in explanation for refrigerated storage. He'd harvest the organs, transfer them at port stops to refrigerated couriers. Buyers received transplants within 24 hours. By the time anyone noticed the woman missing, the evidence was already beating in someone else's chest. Swiss federal police breach Marcus's Geneva property at dawn. The penthouse looks normal. Modern furniture, expensive art, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Lake Geneva. Then they find the elevator that isn't on the building plans. It descends to a sub-basement. The doors open, and forensic lead Anna Hoffman stops breathing. It's a surgical suite, she radios up. Professional grade, everything you'd need for organ harvesting. Stainless steel operating table with restraint points, medical-grade refrigeration units, empty now, recently cleaned, surgical instruments laid out with precision, IV stands, anesthesia equipment, autoclave for sterilization. But it's the wall that breaks her. Photographs, not of victims, of organs, time-stamped, dated, labeled with clinical efficiency. Heart, A+, 2015, 03, 17. Liver, O-, 2017, 08, 22. A trophy collection. DNA sweeps revealed traces from 4 different women, despite bleach protocols. Hair follicles, skin cells, blood splatter, luminal reveals on the floor. Scrubbed, but not gone. This wasn't opportunistic, forensic psychologist Dr. Raymond Cole tells the task force. This was his life's work. He hunted them, courted them, made them feel special. Then he reduced them to parts. The cruelest detail? Medical logs showing Marcus kept some victims alive during harvest. Anesthetized, but breathing. Organs stay viable longer that way. I need you to imagine something. Imagine trusting someone enough to go on vacation with them. Now imagine waking up on that table. Santos flies to Boston. Maria Rodriguez answers the door. Alicia's mother. She's aged 20 years in 15. Alicia met him at an art gallery, Maria says, holding a photo of her daughter. She called him sophisticated, worldly. Said he was taking her to Paris for her birthday. I helped her pick out dresses. Alicia never made it to Paris. Her phone last pinged near Boston Harbor, then nothing. Police said she probably ran away, started a new life. But Alicia wouldn't do that. She texted me every single day. Maria's voice cracks. Until she didn't. In Chicago, Maya Patterson's sister Denise pulls out a shoebox
every unanswered text she sent for 8 years. "Happy birthday, Maya. I miss you, Maya. Please, come home, Maya." She met him at a charity run, she remembers. He donated $50,000 that day. Maya thought he was generous, kind. He offered her a weekend at his lake house, said she worked too hard, deserved a break. Maya's last text to Denise: "His house is amazing. I'll send pics tomorrow."
Each family tells the same story. Charming man, luxury promised, sudden silence, police disinterest. Adults can disappear if they want. If she was rich, they would have searched, Keisha Williams' father says bitterly. But she was a social worker, black woman from Denver. They didn't care enough to look. Santos reviews every missing persons report. Not one detective connected the dots. Different cities, different jurisdictions, different years. Marcus moved like a shark, always hunting, never staying long enough to establish a pattern. Until Sarah. Sarah's case breaks open because the cruise ship forced improvisation. He couldn't dispose of the body at sea. Too many cameras, too many witnesses. He had to leave her behind and run. His first mistake in 15 years. These women weren't random. They were chosen, hunted, murdered for profit. And Marcus Blackwell is still out there. The FBI receives over 3,000 tips in the first 24 hours. But Marcus has money, resources, and a 3-week head start. Where do you hide when the entire world is looking? Financial analyst David Chen hasn't slept in 48 hours. His eyes burn tracking money across 12 countries, but he's close. He can feel it. Marcus prepared for this moment, Chen tells Santos, pointing at his screen. Look, shell companies liquidating, real estate sold weeks before Sarah's murder, Bitcoin transfers. He's been planning his escape for months. The assets frozen? $400 million. But that's just what they found. Chen estimates another $200 million hidden in cryptocurrency, offshore accounts, physical cash. Properties in Argentina, Belize, Thailand, all purchased under different corporate entities. Fake identities with real passports. 6 different names discovered so far. He's not just running, Chen says. He's dissolving, becoming someone new. Interpol freezes what they can reach, but Marcus moves faster. A penthouse in Singapore sells overnight. Cash buyer, no questions. Cryptocurrency wallet empties. $47 million withdrawn in untraceable transactions. By the time authorities get court orders, the money's gone. Agent Reinhardt coordinates with Europol, FBI, and intelligence agencies across 40 countries. He has resources to stay hidden for years. New face, new name, new life. But Santos refuses to accept it. He'll make contact with someone. They always do. This isn't just about Marcus anymore. It's about how he got away with it for so long. Former employees come forward with stories. Marcus's executive assistant, Patricia Wong. He was cruel, screamed at staff, made a janitor cry because a window had streaks on it, but he donated millions to charity so everyone looked the other way. Ex-girlfriend Jennifer Torres said, "I'm the one who got away. I reported him 3 years ago. The detective dismissed me. How many women died because nobody believed me?" That detective, Michael Hastings, retired, is now on administrative review. His response to reporters, "I handled thousands of cases, can't remember every domestic dispute." But the internet remembers. Screenshots of his case notes surfaced. Hysterical ex-girlfriend. Attention-seeking behavior. No credible threat. Maya Patterson disappeared 6 months after that report was filed. The FBI tip line receives 8,000 calls in week 1. Reported sightings from Norway to New Zealand. Most are dead ends. Some are people wanting reward money. A few seem credible. Then the task force discovers something that changes everything. Marcus wasn't working alone. Cruise ship records show crew member Victor Petrov disappeared the same day as Marcus. Romanian national, medical background, former paramedic, hired 6 months before Sarah's murder.
Security footage reviewed. Victor entering Suite 1208 at 11:15 p.m., 28 minutes after Sarah and Marcus arrived. He stays 90 minutes, leaves carrying a medical cooler marked laboratory samples. Marcus left the ship, but Victor finished the job, Santos realizes. Marcus has a network. FBI raids target 4 countries simultaneously. 12 arrests. Corrupt ship employees. A doctor in Manila who provided equipment. A logistics coordinator in Rotterdam who arranged organ transport. But Viktor Petrov? Gone. Interpol red notice issued. And Marcus? Still vanishing into the darkness, until a break comes from the last place anyone expected.
Buenos Aires. A luxury apartment complex. August 15th, 3 weeks after Sarah's murder. Building security guard notices something. A resident who never leaves his penthouse. Groceries delivered, mail piling up, but no one ever sees his face. The guard mentions it to his cousin, who happens to be watching CNN International. That profile, that build. The cousin calls Interpol. Argentine federal police surveillance begins immediately. Heat signatures confirm someone's inside. Facial recognition can't identify through window glare, but the pieces fit. August 23rd, 4:47 a.m. Tactical team breaches. Policía Federal, no se mueva. Gunfire erupts. Marcus's private security, 3 armed men, engage. 8 minutes of chaos. 2 security guards down, 1 officer wounded. Then they hear it. Helicopter rotors. Rooftop, Santos screams through the radio link. He's running. Argentine SWAT storms the roof. The helicopter lifts off. 10 feet, 20, 30. A sniper's shot punctures the fuel tank. The pilot, trained for emergencies, brings it down hard. Skids screech, rotor blades shatter. And there, climbing from the wreckage, hands raised, face finally visible, Marcus Blackwell. After 23 days, the monster is in custody. But as they cuff him, Marcus does something chilling. He smiles. "You have no idea," he tells Detective Santos via video call, "how many of us there are." What does he mean? Are there more killers like him operating right now?
August 24th. The world watches. Marcus Blackwell, hands cuffed, walks across Buenos Aires tarmac. Interpol agents surround him. News helicopters circle. Cameras capture every step. He doesn't look broken, doesn't look scared. He looks annoyed, like someone interrupted his vacation. The extradition battle begins immediately. The United States wants him. Sarah was American. Greece demands jurisdiction. Murder occurred in their waters. Switzerland claims precedence, evidence found on their soil. Legal experts flood cable news. This could take years, Harvard law professor Michael Chen predicts. Diplomatic nightmare. It takes 6 days. The U.S. wins jurisdiction. Sarah's family's relentless advocacy and political pressure sealed the deal. September 1st, Marcus lands at JFK in shackles, flanked by U.S. Marshals. Waiting reporters shout questions. Why did you do it? Do you feel remorse? How many victims? Marcus stops, looks directly at the camera. "I provided a service," he says calmly. "Supply and demand. Economics 101. The feed cuts, but those words, cold, calculated, devoid of humanity, go viral within minutes. Federal prosecutors file charges, 7 counts first-degree murder, organ trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, interstate commerce violations. Marcus's defense team, 4 attorneys from Manhattan's most expensive firm, argues reasonable doubt. Show us bodies. Show us direct evidence linking Mr. Blackwell to these alleged murders. Lead prosecutor Amanda Reyes smiles. We have DNA from his kill room, financial records proving organ sales, testimony from his accomplices, and security footage from the ship. Viktor Petrov, arrested in Moldova, takes a plea deal. His testimony is devastating.
Victor paid me $200,000 per victim, Victor tells the grand jury. I'd administer anesthesia. He'd perform the harvesting. Clean and efficient. He said we were helping people. Rich people who deserved to live.
The buyers, 12 identified so far, face charges in their respective countries. A Dubai businessman who received Alicia's heart, a Hong Kong CEO who got Maya's liver, a Russian oligarch who bought Christina's kidneys. None show remorse. Most claim they didn't know the organ's origins. Trial date set, March 2026. Death penalty on the table. Legal analysts predict the biggest trial since Jeffrey Dahmer. This isn't just about Marcus Blackwell, former prosecutor Janet Williams explains. This exposes an entire underground economy based on exploiting vulnerable women. October 15th, Manhattan Memorial Park. Thousands gather for Sarah Mitchell's funeral. Her mother, Patricia, stands at the podium, voice steady despite tears. My daughter wanted to design beautiful spaces where people felt safe. She never got that chance, but her death will protect others. The Sarah Mitchell Foundation launches that day. Mission: educate women about relationship red flags, provide free background checks for online dates, fund cold case investigations for missing women. Corporate sponsors pledged $12 million in the first month. Jenna Torres becomes the foundation's spokesperson. Her PSA, Trust Your Gut, airs during the Super Bowl, reaching 100 million viewers. The cruise industry implements new protocols, mandatory passenger tracking systems, medical supply audits, staff background checks, including international criminal databases. It's not enough, but it's something. Detective Santos attends memorials for all 7 women: Boston, Chicago, Seattle, Miami, San Francisco, Denver, New York. 7 families, 7 lives stolen. 7 women who deserved better. They weren't just victims, Santos tells me months later. Alicia was applying to law school. Maya coached girls' soccer. Christina's photographs hung in galleries. Rachel saved lives as an ER nurse. Sophie's paintings sold for thousands. Keisha helped homeless families find housing. Sarah built dreams from thrift store furniture. She pauses, exhausted but determined. Marcus took their futures, but he didn't erase their impact. People remember them now, really remember them.
I return to where this story began, the Mediterranean. The celestial dream still sails these waters, though Suite 1208 stays permanently empty. Sarah's last Instagram post remains up. That sunset, that smile, that caption, "Living my best life." 20 million people have viewed it. Comments flood in daily. "You deserved better. Your story saved my life. I left a controlling relationship. We won't forget you." Marcus Blackwell sits in maximum security, awaiting trial. He receives fan mail, sickening letters from people who admire his intelligence and courage. But he also receives something else. Testimony from 43 women who dated him and escaped. Their stories will bury him. The trial begins in 4 months. Prosecutors expect guilty verdicts on all counts. Marcus faces 7 life sentences without parole. Justice delayed, but not denied. Here's what I want you to remember. Sarah Mitchell wasn't naive. She wasn't stupid. She wasn't asking for it. She was a woman who dared to dream, who trusted someone who weaponized that trust. This could have been anyone. Your sister, your best friend, you. So ask the hard questions. Trust your instincts. And when someone seems too perfect, remember that monsters rarely look like monsters. They look like Marcus Blackwell. Charming, successful, human. Until they're not. If this story impacted you, hit that subscribe button. Share it. Talk about it. Because silence is how predators like Marcus thrive. And if you or someone you know sees red flags in a relationship, call the National Domestic Violence Hotline. Sarah's voice was silenced.
but yours doesn't have to be. This is her story. These are their names, and we will never forget.